Come on.
They came to see you. Show them something, 17. Everybody bring your best. You understand me? Prime time. 1 week seasons from here on out. Go Bills.
Just tune in and watch.
Tonight, everybody watches.
The Buccaneers win our third consecutive NFC South championship.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Everybody getting in on the party.
Led by the rookie quarterback. They're off to the AFC playoffs.
He did not get in, and the Jags will be turned away here.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? It's showtime.
It is showtime for the final time of the regular season, and the AFC East is on the line. Tua and the Dolphins in search of their first division title in 15 years against Josh Allen and the red-hot Bills. They clinched a playoff berth earlier today. Now they're looking to win the division for the 4th straight season. Wouldn't want it any other way in the season finale. And Buffalo is in the playoffs because of what happened earlier, Devin, in Tennessee.
What a collapse by Jacksonville. Right here, Trevor Lawrence tries to call his own number and reach over the top, and just short. The way their season ended, just short is the best explanation. Favorite to win the division. Now they'll be watching the playoffs from their couch.
Would have won the division if they won that game. Now Houston wins the AFC South. So looking at it right now, as mentioned, the winner of our game will win the AFC East. They'll be the 2 seed. If the Dolphins lose, they'll be the 6 seed. They'll visit Kansas City next weekend. If the Bills lose, they'll be the 7. It'll be a rematch of this very game tonight, Bills and Dolphins in the wild card round. With all that, we say hello. Welcome to Football Night in America. Chris Sims, Ahmed Fareed, Devin McCourty, Jason Garrett. We got so much to get to. We got papers everywhere. We got so much thoughts in our mind. We laid out what's going on in the AFC. A lot happening right now in the NFC as well. Let's start with the Cowboys and Washington, Chris.
Oh, Dallas dominating. Big D. Dak Prescott having an unbelievable day throwing the football. Early on, it was a shootout. It was kind of fun. Washington was going for it, but Dallas too talented, wearing them down and dominating the football game.
Close to locking up the NFC East and getting that number 2 seed. So that means the Eagles, who have been struggling lately, cannot win the division, and they are struggling.
Yeah, talk about struggling. Lost 5 out of their last 6. They went up to MetLife, and another ugly day. Jalen Hurts hurts his finger, symbolic of their season as well, coming down the stretch.
They're looking like a 5 seed right now. Just moments ago, the Green Bay Packers, a win, and they are in.
A lot going on with Green Bay this offseason, but guess what? You better love you some love. Jordan Love coming in this game when it all matters. Over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love, what a day for this Packers team. You're in the playoffs.
So that means Seattle is eliminated. The New Orleans Saints, despite a win today, they are eliminated as well with that Green Bay win. The Rams in, but jockeying for seeding here, Chris.
The Rams are in, but that's right. Will it be the 3-6 matchup against the Lions? Carson Wentz been making plays with his arm and his legs. They got the 2-point conversion. They're leading in San Francisco right now. The 49ers are driving.
So this is what we know right now in the NFC. We know that the 49ers are the 1 seed. We're tracking all these late games right now. Cowboys 2, Lions 3, Bucks and Eagles 4 and 5. So the Bucks earlier, they had to win the division with a win in this game, and they won this game.
Yeah, it was a pitcher's duel. Watch Antoine Winfield here, really making the play of the day, knocking the ball out before Carolina can get into the end zone. How about Todd Bowles? 3rd straight NFC South championship, doing a heck of a job. Baker Mayfield getting it done.
Get Winfield Jr. in the Pro Bowl. What are we doing?
The heck with the Pro Bowl. He's going all pro.
Come on. I want both of them for the guy.
Winfield Jr. Way to go.
Bucks showing some signs here late in the season. So we have never needed Steve Kornacki more than we do on this day. So, Steve, sort this out for us. What's going on right now?
Yeah, let's start in the NFC. You're looking at all the possibilities that remain for the playoffs, but they are shrinking by the second. Look, Dallas clobbering Washington, assuming they hold on. Dallas will be the 2. That'll have Philly be the 5 seed. They will go to Tampa Bay, and the 3 seed then would belong to Detroit. And with Green Bay now just beating Chicago, Chicago moments ago. It means the Seahawks are done, the Saints are done, and all that's left to be decided is the Packers and the Rams. They're both in. Who will be the 7? Who will be the 6? If the Rams hang on and beat San Francisco, Green Bay will be the 7 seed, and it'll be the Rams in the 6th spot. And as you say, Matthew Stafford would go back to Detroit in the first round of the playoffs. Take a look here on the AFC side. The one matchup we know for the playoffs that's set, the Texans win the AFC South. They will host the Cleveland Browns. We know that the Chiefs are going to be the 3 seed. They will host one of these 3 teams. It'll only be the Buffalo if Buffalo ends in a tie tonight. Otherwise, you know the stakes tonight. It's for the AFC East title, and watching with keen interest Pittsburgh, because if Miami wins, Pittsburgh will be going to Kansas City. If Miami loses, it'll be Pittsburgh going to Buffalo, and it'll be Miami who has to go to Arrowhead Stadium. And what's the difference between the two in this wild card here, winning the AFC East or getting the wild card? Statistically significant. If Buffalo can win the AFC East, our PFF model says they got a 27% shot of going to the Super Bowl, winning the AFC. The Dolphins, meanwhile, if they win the division, 16% to win the AFC, only 6% as a wild card. So big statistical stakes tonight, too.
Yeah, so we know the playoff teams right now, just don't know the travel schedules, where each team is flying, including our game tonight will dictate a lot. Let's get it down to Miami, Southern Florida. Jack, Tony, and Rodney.
All right, so it's pretty simple. The season finale, the AFC East on the line, and the winner tonight earns the opportunity to host back-to-back home games in the playoffs, and that is big, Coach.
That is huge. Talking to both teams, coaches and players, they heard all that stuff that Steve talked about. The head coaches said, don't worry about that. Win this game, 2 home games, that's all that counts. This is for hats and T-shirts tonight.
Coach is getting pretty excited. I look at the Bills, and the Bills are finally built for the playoffs. You look on the defensive side of the ball, McDermott's done a great job with that veteran defense, but on the offensive side of the ball, they're leaning on James Cook, and they don't have to just depend on Josh Allen doing everything. It makes it a lot more dangerous.
You know, and we asked the players, were they worried about these games? Were they watching the other scores? Everybody said no, but I don't think that's true. Long snapper Reed Ferguson, the long snapper for the Buffalo Bills. His brother, Blake, is the long snapper for Miami.
Yeah.
They got together for lunch today and watched the games. They said they were cheering like mad for the Jacksonville Jaguars so Buffalo could get in.
I couldn't help also to look at the bottom of the AFC East, of course, the New England Patriots, and watching Bill Belichick walk off the field today. Were you thinking this may be his final time leading the Patriots?
Yes, I did, and I think it's the best thing. I mean, there's nothing else more that he can accomplish. He gave New England everything that he had, a bunch of championships, 24 years. Personally, he gave me an opportunity when a lot of other coaches and organizations didn't give me an opportunity. And one thing I love about Coach Belichick, he always gives the underdog an opportunity. Myself, Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, guys like that, guys that other people didn't believe in, he believes in.
Right, and underdogs are the champions. Go ahead,
Coach. If this was the end for Coach Belichick, it was a marvelous era. We will never see anything like this again. All those championships, it was fantastic.
And he deserves to coach another team.
So Josh Allen, he's looking for a championship, trying to get it going. When we come back, what we learned when the Bills destroyed the Dolphins in week number 4. We're counting down to the season finale from South Florida.
We got a football night alert. Rams trying to lock up the 6th seed. They can hold on for a win, trying to get a first down. Tutu Atwell does there. Time ticking away. 1:55 to go. We'll keep you updated on this one. Let's go back to Miami and Jack.
All right, I'm out here in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa on pace to become the first Dolphins quarterback to lead the NFL in passing yards since Dan Marino back in 1992. Good company there for Tua. And tonight it may come down to which quarterback can steal the show as it typically does. But how can the defenses get them out of rhythm, do you believe?
Well, what you have to do against both of these offenses, Rodney, is get the quarterbacks off of their first read. Don't let them get rid of the ball quick. And in the first game, there was a big difference when that happened.
I thought the Buffalo Bills defense did a great job of forcing Tua to hold the ball, making him come off the first look. These corners played really aggressive because they had the safeties backing them up. But that's the way you have to play them, very aggressive.
And Miami wants to do the same thing with Buffalo, but the whole message from their coaching staff to their players is when we do that, we've got to plaster. We've got to stay with them because Josh Allen created. He got out of the pocket and made big plays. So Miami, get him off his first read, but you got to stay with him.
And tackle.
And make some tackles.
In open field.
You get Josh Allen off that first read, you better look out. That's the bottom line. And over his career, Allen, a 10-2 record he has against Miami. And tonight, he's looking for his 4th straight AFC East title. We'll see if he can get it, Ahmed. Back into you.
All right, thank you, guys. So, yeah, the Bills have shown some good offense the last few weeks, but they have done it without Stephon Diggs. 10 games in a row, going under 100 yards for him. What's been going on there?
Yeah, we've all talked about it. They needed to find somebody other than Stephon Diggs. The thing that sticks out to me is he's not on the field as much.
Right.
Some key third down situations.
Yeah, odd.
And when he's on the field, you have to double him. You have to send attention to him. So he makes everyone else around him better. So I don't understand why he's not on the field at the same rate.
No doubt. He's arguably their best receiver they have, their biggest playmaker in clutch moments. I love what Joe Brady has done. They're running the ball more.
Right.
They're spreading it around more. There are fewer opportunities.
Right.
But as they get into tonight and into the playoffs, he has to be a featured guy for them.
Yeah, they got to use them. But they're another one of these teams kind of embrace the ugly. Run the football. They've been tough doing that. And I think they've said, stop worrying about trying to make Diggs and the Allen connection such a big thing. Let's spread the ball, like Jason Garrett said, around. And it's made them a more effective, complete offense.
And they have been a pretty effective team in the red zone, scoring touchdowns this year, even without that connection in the red zone with Allen and Diggs. We got a football night alert. We've got a final. The Dallas Cowboys have wrapped up the NFC East in the #2 seed. Mike McCarthy shaking hands with Ron Rivera. Could this be the last time that...
Way to go, Mike McCarthy.
It's a hat and T-shirt game right there.
Prescott.
I know about those hat and T-shirt games.
Go ahead, Prescott.
Yeah.
The playoffs start this Saturday with Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. 6 games, we got half of them between NBC and Peacock. Both games on Saturday, then 1 game on Sunday night. Full schedule will be coming out a little bit later tonight. And a reminder, our Saturday night game is streaming exclusively on Peacock. You can scan the QR code right now if you have not already signed up for that streaming service. We got a football night alert. After the Cowboys win, Eagles locked in as the 5 seed. They go down 27-10 to the Giants.
G-Men looking great, ended off in a big way. But, I mean, whoever thought this with the Eagles, right? The way they dominated football early on in the year, to be on this losing streak, playing this way to the playoffs, wow.
Now on Wildcard Weekend, they go to Tampa, a place they did win earlier this year. Highlights, we got the Browns locked in as the 5 seed, so no Joe Flacco. The Bengals locked in as a team not in the playoffs, but they had nothing to lose. Jake Browning to Joe Mixon.
Yeah, too much Browning and Mixon. Browning threw 3 touchdowns, Mixon over 100 yards. A good finish for the Bengals.
Browns going to play at Houston in the wild card coming up. Jets taking on the Patriots. Bill Belichick. Could this be the final game in an era? Many people preparing for it. A snow game in New England. That fan thinks we will see more of Bill in New England. Well, you got to see this one. It wasn't great. Bailey Zappi intercepted by Tony Adams.
Beautiful day weather-wise. Not a beautiful day for football. We kept going back and forth, and we would see a touchdown. Defensive battle until Breece Hall breaks this off and sits a dagger in the New England Patriots winning.
And some real bad offense.
Exactly. A lot of snow angels out there, though.
Who's that guy?
Good news for the Jets, though. They do snap that 15-game losing streak against the Patriots.
He's going out with Darth Vader right here. Going out with the mask on, barely talking to anybody.
Could this be the last time? And with that, he is out. Here's comments afterwards.
I'll address some questions on the game. As far as the future goes, I'll sit down with Robert, as I do every year at some point at the end of the season, and we'll talk about things as we always do. I'm sure that'll happen. But that's really about all I have to say about that right now.
Do you expect to be coaching the team here next year?
It's disappointing in the way the game finished, yeah.
Has it taken any of the wind out of your sails as far as the effort it takes to coach?
No, I mean, I enjoy coaching. Like I said, it was a disappointing season. I covered that in the opening statement, and really don't have anything to add. That's how I feel. But no, I like coaching the team. I like preparing the team, game planning, coaching on Sundays. But the results weren't good, and none of us are happy with those.
All right, Mike Florio, time to bring you in. What are you hearing about the future of Bill Belichick?
Well, you know, guys, this year was the clincher, but the relationship went off the rails last year when Bill Belichick insisted on taking longtime defensive coach Matt Patricia and making him the offensive coordinator. That was a debacle. So here we are. 5 years of no postseason wins, and a sense that he is just too resistant to change and innovate, even though he's still regarded as an excellent game day coach. The big question is, what label will be used? Will it be a firing? Will it be a mutual parting? There's been speculation about a potential trade. That is highly unlikely. Too many moving parts, takes too long, and there's no reason for Belichick to ever go along with that arrangement.
All right, thank you, Mike. So, Devin, he wouldn't tell us, Bill Belichick, if this is it. You played for him for 13 years. Did he tell you?
You could probably guess he didn't tell me either. But the one thing I will say is the greatest thing I learned from him is respect. He's always respected his players, the coaches, everyone that's worked for him. I don't think he gets that credit. Everyone talks about how hard it is. He does this, he does that. The biggest thing he has is respect for everyone. But with that being said, like Florio said, it seems like this is the end in New England. And that is a heck of a dynasty to see come to an end.
Yeah, arguably the greatest stretch an organization in any sport has had over 20 years. They're winning unprecedented. Mount Rushmore of coaches, one of the all-time greats in all sports. If he's not in New England, he's going to be somewhere.
It seems time to break apart, right? The marriage has ended. I think we all kind of feel that, certainly. He can still coach some football. He can still coach some defense. It's the managerial stuff I think we question. How you handle the OC, the quarterback change, lack of speed at receiver. I think those are the things people will question about Belichick in the future.
This could also be the end of another era in New England. Matthew Slater has been a 16-year veteran, 13 as a captain. You see the team wearing number 18 hoodies. Before the game, the coaches were wearing that as well, Devin. This could be it for Matthew Slater, too.
A rare type of not just player, but human being. Obviously, everyone knows what he did as a special teams player. But for me, every single day, I try to be more like that guy right there because of what he stands for. Look at that right there.
Look at the Slater jersey.
I had to rock that today, man. He deserves it. An awesome human being. I was hoping it was going to lead to a Pats victory, though.
That's awesome.
Congrats to him. Way to go, Matthew Slater.
I love it. A lot changing potentially in New England at the end of this season. For another football night alert.
2nd and 10, Almond. Niners got a chance. Okay, but you got Sam Darnold trying to make something happen, loses the football. Rams recovered around midfield. See you later. You're nervous because you're a Lions fan.
Are you telling me?
And now the Rams and Stafford are going to see Detroit. Uh-oh.
I'll be honest with you. I am a little nervous about that. Matthew Stafford's quite good. So there it is, locked in the 3 and 6 seeds with the Rams get the victory there. The Packers get the 7 seed, taking on the Cowboys. Yeah,
wait.
Stafford in Detroit. A little nervous,
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
All right, fellas, so Miami's defense was improving after getting Jalen Ramsey healthy. That was in week number 8, but last week at Baltimore, something went wrong. Season highs in points and yards, plus both Xavier Howard, Bradley Chubb got hurt. So how do you view Miami's defense right now?
Coach Fangio, he has to be concerned about his defense, the injuries, and just the miscommunication. And the miscommunication happened between 2 veteran players. This is free safety Javon Holland and Jalen Ramsey. This is easy. 2 guys on 2 wide receivers. Javon, just make a call. I got the inside guy. Whoever it is, watch Jalen Ramsey after the play. He gets visibly upset because he's telling him, yes, coach, like, just make a call so we can all be on the same page. And the very next play, you get a backup linebacker, Duke Riley. Instead of going over the pick, he goes underneath the pick. He's a special teams player, fantastic special teams player. He's just not a starter in this league. It's those little things that keep you from winning championships.
And if you're defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, how do you correct that? Does that mean playing more zone coverage? You don't have your best cover corner, Howard. Yep. Well, but to play zone, you have to be able to rush the passer. You don't have your best pass rusher, Bradley Chubb. Knowing Coach Fangio like we know him, that could mean more blitzes tonight.
Coach, I think you're spot on. I think it's going to be a lot more pressure. He's not going to sit back and allow Buffalo to do their thing.
And on the positive side, injury-wise, linebacker Jerome Baker was activated yesterday off injury reserve. Could help with some of those wheel routes you just showed us right there, as well as Melvin Ingram going to be elevated off the practice squad again, trying to help that pass rush.
Don't forget about Andrew Van Ginkel, too. He can play.
Having a really good year as we send it back in. Tom and Free.
All right, thank you, Jack. The complete 4 o'clock window has now gone. Final of significance. The Packers get that win. They clinch a spot in the playoffs. They have that 7 seed to play the Cowboys in Dallas. The Cowboys won the NFC East with their win 19 straight years. The NFC East has had a different champion. Rams at Detroit. Rams earn the 6th seed with that comeback win over SF. More highlights coming up.
This is my moment. I was born ready.
Wow, what a stand.
Hell yeah. I'm ready for my legacy. It's only begun. I'm the one.
Now the ball was stripped away. Celebrate, Buccaneers.
For the 3rd straight year, division champions.
Chris Olave tipped it up through the air to himself. This is my moment.
Good Hands Moments, presented by Allstate. Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. And by Mercedes-Benz.
AFC East rivalry renewed tonight. Bills and Dolphins.
Oh, okay. All right, Danny. Danny's getting sacked by Bruce Smith.
Yeah.
It's bringing back memories of my childhood right here.
About the all-time great.
Thurman Thomas. Danny can throw the ball in the snow. I know that. He can throw it anywhere.
These teams met last year in the playoffs. Could meet this year in the playoffs as well. Let's get to some more highlights. So NFC South. Falcons and Saints trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Second half, game tied at 17. Desmond Ritter picked by Alontae Taylor.
Tough interception right there. We said it. Chris Sims said it earlier. I don't know where he was throwing the ball and why it looked like that. Just a bad decision, a bad throw. But he looked good early. That was a problem.
He was tearing them up early.
Yeah.
This was a fun game for the Saints. Chris Olave makes the catch.
That's not a fun game for Phillips right there at defensive back. It's good position. What a catch by Olave. These New Orleans receivers made big catches all day.
4 touchdown passes in the game for Derek Carr. Now, this is somewhat controversial at the end of the game. Dennis Allen said the team went rogue, wanted Jamal Williams to get a rushing touchdown. Arthur Smith not happy.
That's what Dennis Allen said, but that's what Arthur Smith said about it. He wasn't happy about that decision.
You want to translate it?
No, hey, don't translate. Don't do that. Bucks and Panthers, a win today for the Bucks. Wins the NFC South for them. No score early on. Bryce Young to DJ Chark. This is a long one.
What a play. This guy has been amazing all of us all year long. Nice play by DJ Chark, but better play by Antoine Winfield Jr. Yes, not in the Pro Bowl, but will soon be on an all-pro team coming home near you. All right? Unbelievable play, Antoine Winfield.
Bucks led 6-0 at the break, so this one was close throughout. Fourth quarter, Panthers down 9. Young dropping back to pass.
Tryon Shayanko around the edge, strip sack right there. It was an ugly football game. It was a field position game by the Bucks. They hung in there and find a way to win this defensive football game.
3rd straight division title for the Bucks. First time they've done that in franchise history. Todd Bowles.
Hey guys, that's a hell of a job going back to back to back. Winfield game balls, but we won the division for the 3rd straight time. Everybody
Do they have enough game balls for something like that? I guess they do. Also, they get the Eagles at home in the wild card. Can the Bucks do some damage, Jason?
They absolutely can. Eagles went from being one of the best teams in the league a month and a half ago to one of the worst teams in the league.
Right.
They got to go to Tampa. Tampa's got a streaky quarterback in Mayfield. They got big-time receivers, and they can play defense down there.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bucs.
Oh, I like you calling it already. I like it. But I hear you. You're right.
They played in Week 3 in Tampa. Philly did win that game, but a lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it was Arthur Smith's third season in Atlanta. Didn't make the playoffs in any of them. Mike, what's the latest on his future there?
Yeah, 7-10 record in each of his 3 seasons as head coach. No clear indication as to what owner Arthur Blank will do, but few will be surprised if he does move on from Arthur Smith. The real question may be, how much higher up the organization do changes come if Arthur Blank decides it's time for change in Atlanta?
All right, thank you, Mike. Something to keep an eye on over the next 24 hours with all of us.
We'll see where it goes. Josh Allen's getting the troops ready, though.
Ready to go.
He better be ready, right? He can throw it
playing Miami, too.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. Come on, baby.
Hey, oh, let's go, let's go.
That's the sweetest Miami Ellie's blueberry pie, baby.
Hey, oh, let's go, let's go.
back.
For the AFC East crown.
Hook has found the kitchen.
Wow. Speed kills, man. Hey, Chan, the man. Good night.
This is Football Night in America.
Let's go!
Served by Applebee's.
It is all on the line in this one, getting you set for Bills and Dolphins in Miami. Time now for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play with our friend Matthew Berry. Hello, Matthew.
Hey, Ahmed, thanks so much. Listen, we have seen this before in big games, right? Josh Allen putting on his Superman cape and saying, follow me to victory. I'm going to do it all until my 3-play is all around Josh Allen, okay? Think about this Miami Dolphins defense. No Phillips already and no Bradley Chubb. He should have a clean pocket. So I'm starting with an alt line. Give me the over on 225 passing yards. He's been over that number in 11 games this year. I also like over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Get this. Josh Allen has had multiple touchdown passes in every single game he's ever played against the Dolphins. No Xavier Howard in the back end there for Miami as well. And then finally, the final leg of my 3-play is Josh Allen using his legs. Hey, look, it's week 18. I'm allowed a dad joke. The fact of the matter is Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, 5 straight games with a rushing touchdown, 8 straight games with a goal line rush. Josh Allen gets in on his legs. He throws 2. He goes over 225 in alt line. That is my DraftKings 3-play for tonight. Ahmed.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Over on the other side, Tua in his 4th season leads the NFL in pass yards this season, but it has been a little bit of a struggle recently for that Miami Dolphins offense.
Well, we've seen defenses that have a good front four, well-coached, have a plan, that you could play the Dolphins in certain areas. And I think that's what we're seeing like last week with the Ravens. They adjust. They like to spread you out kind of horizontally, screens, tosses out on the edge to open up these little windows for the pop slant, the slant throws that Tua is phenomenal at hitting Tyreek Hill on the run. But as you see, teams, they see it a few times, they get used to all the motions and the speed of the football team, and they start to get a little closer. And then as the game goes on, it gets scarier and scarier for Tua and company.
Like you said, it happens fast. Tua throws it fast, but then once you adjust and you see it, you understand the speed. One-handed interceptions go right there, but now you get to the sideline, you say, this is where we need to be. Whole defense needs to be there. So later in the game, everyone's all over it. Not just one guy, there's a bunch of guys. This is what we call a team meeting right there. Figure out as a defense, Jason.
Yeah, Dev. These guys play Miami a couple times a year. Buffalo knows how to get depth. They want to complete the ball 12 to 15 yards in the middle of the field between the numbers. Linebackers get depth. Knock the ball away, intercept the ball, force him to throw the ball underneath. They know how to play these guys. Miami's had a hard time against them.
Get your hands up, like you see there, too. All those quick passes, your pass rush is not going to get there. Tip passes, very important for the Buffalo Bills D-line tonight.
Since week 10, the Bills have had a top 3 unit on defense there, so it will be difficult again for that Miami Dolphins offense. If they lose tonight, they will be in Kansas City next weekend. Chiefs already clinched that 3 seed. We're in L.A. today. Patrick Mahomes gets to rest. Travis Kelce gets to rest. Chris Jones did not rest because he had an incentive, needed another sack to earn $1.25 million.
Yeah, Chris Jones said, hey, Coach Andy Reid, I'm not resting. I need to get this money. And you see, once one guy gets the money, the whole team knows because we all eat. Chris Jones is buying dinners everywhere tonight.
I don't care how rich you are, 1.2 million's a lot.
Buying 2 dinners, maybe. A lot of dinners. Broncos and Raiders. Jarrett Stidham making his 2nd start after the benching of Russell Wilson. 4th quarter, Aiden O'Connell to Jacoby Myers.
They wanted 2 touchdowns that Jacoby Myers caught for the Raiders. Antonio Pierce, 5-4. That's what the fans want. Did a heck of a job.
Hire the man.
Head coach material right there.
Finish 8 and 9. So, Mike, Raiders and Chargers have openings. What are you hearing there?
Well, the name Jim Harbaugh is going to loom over both of these jobs. Last year, he wanted the Chargers job, but it wasn't open. Now it is. And for the Raiders, you see those players reacting to Antonio Pierce. He went 5-4 as the interim coach. They want him. But Harbaugh was an assistant coach more than 20 years ago with the Raiders. And maybe keep him away from the Chargers by getting him to go to Las Vegas. It's going to be an interesting few weeks.
All right, thank you, Mike. A big one in the AFC earlier. Jags and Titans. Jaguars needed a win to clinch the AFC South for a 2nd straight season. A loss, and they're out of the playoffs. 3rd quarter, Titans already up 8. They had it to Derrick Henry, and he is gone.
Oh, well, he dominated in the first half. He was running all over this Jags defense. It was disappointing. They didn't tackle well. They were out-physical. And this guy, man, does he own the Jacksonville Jaguars or what? Way to go, Derrick Henry.
Season high 153 yards and a touchdown. He is a free agent at the end of the year. Ryan Tannehill Tannehill to DeAndre Hopkins. Titans up a couple touchdowns after that. So now it's time for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags to try to come back here to Evan Ingram.
Trevor Lawrence, the pass game, they carried the load for the Jaguars throughout the day. He made a ton of big plays. Threw 2 interceptions. One was only his fault. They battled back, and you think right here, Ryan Tannehill, interception down the middle, and you're going, oh, Jacksonville's going to fight to the end here. Are they going to pull this out?
Big play by Andre Sisco there. So 4th and goal at the 1. Trevor Lawrence said after the game this was an audible. He chose to try to do this.
I understand it. He tried to go Air Jordan over the top, right? He got long arms. He's 6'6", but the Titans were ready for it. He comes up just short.
Need a little bit more air time.
A little more air time.
Get off the ground, Trevor.
Yeah.
A couple more inches
you know
on
what
the
they say.
Jacksonville would have a final chance. 2 minutes left. Going deep to Calvin Ridley. He's open.
Oh, a little pressure. Didn't get to set his feet. Throw the ball up in the air and let the guy run under it. He hit him for a big play earlier in the game for a touchdown. That was the last opportunity for the Jags to steal this one.
So 2 plays later, 4th and 2. Lawrence's pass sailing high.
Yes, sailing high. The Titans were all over it. Mike Vrabel got to be proud. His team fought to the end. And, oh, yeah, there were some terrible towels down there in Tennessee.
So this means that the Steelers were in and pull up their Twitter account. What are they doing? Oh, no.
It's back to haunt you.
You see, you don't mess with another team's flair and terrible towel.
Bad ball.
Yins will learn. That's what happens. Yins will learn.
That's right.
Steve, an epic collapse for the Jags.
Yeah, making way for an unlikely rise for the Houston Texans. Take a look at this. These are the odds each week to win the AFC South. Another way of looking at this, the Texans just 6 weeks ago were coming off a loss to the Jags. They were 2 games behind in the division, and our PFF model had them at just 34% to make the playoffs. And remember, after that, they still had to deal with the Stroud injury, a loss to the Jets, but they stringed together a couple wins to end the season. They clinched the wild card last night, but then, as you say, they got that help from the Jags. The Jags right here 6 weeks ago were 96% to make the playoffs. All they could do was beat Carolina. They lost every other game the rest of the way. They get caught in the division. They fall out of the playoffs. A 96% playoff chance 6 weeks ago ends at 0. And here's the wild and torturous thing for the Jags fans. At this point last year, they were just 3% to make the playoffs. They won 5 straight to end it, and they made the playoffs. They were a 96% team. They lost out. A 3% team. They made it. That's torturing your fan base.
So, Devin, where did it all fall apart for the Jaguars here down the stretch?
It's hard to point your finger on one thing. I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. This defense didn't always come to play. But I think overall, sometimes you just have to regroup as a team and say, let's just go win one game. And I think that was a problem. They looked at the overall season and how they could win instead of just focus on winning the one game and then letting it roll.
Yeah, no doubt the Lawrence injury impacted them, but they lost their swagger. They lost their edge. For them to lose this game today, Tennessee has nothing to play for. Jacksonville, everything to play for. They lose 5 out of 6 down the stretch.
Yeah, not
Bad
good.
Ball.
Not good. 2 things really jump out to me. O-line play was not good. They couldn't run the ball. They were one of the worst in football this year. Didn't protect Trevor Lawrence. That's why he was hurt all year. Defensive line. One of the worst at getting after the quarterback, right? They had a blitz too much. Their front 4 couldn't get there. They got to fix these issues.
Yeah, mentioned that Derrick Henry is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Don't know what he's going to do. He did wave as he was leaving the field here today. So
seems like his body.
Great send-off
there. Coming up, we'll show you how things played out in the NFC. Dak and the Cowboys took care of business against Washington to win the NFC East. And Jordan Love and the Packers beat the Bears to earn the final playoff spot. They'll visit Dallas next week. We got highlights coming up.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
Teams that hate each other.
We ride them, Buffalo! I don't think at this point Miami really gives us the respect that we deserve.
Showtime, prime time, let's get it again.
You're the one. We got that opportunity. Wow. Everybody in Lambeau Field on their feet.
Oh, there it is. I see you. You see me.
Played good today, but they got their ass kicked.
Can you dig it?
That's
Do it again. It's showtime.
So Tua Tagovailoa put together a career year, but it's time to prove that he can make it happen in January. It'll be a big start tonight with Josh Allen and the Bills trying to take the AFC East title and host a playoff game next weekend. Let's go on the field, presented by Hyundai. Stephon Diggs, he had his best game of the year back in Week 4 against Miami. He put up 3 touchdowns in that one, Coach.
Yeah, the studio guys mentioned he hadn't been as effective these last few weeks, but in that first game, he was a monster, and Miami had no answer. All types of routes, deep routes, intermediate, shake routes. This is going to be a problem tonight, Rob.
Yeah, but he's going to have to face cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who I expect to follow him wherever he goes, whether he's in the slot, inside, if he's out wide. You don't want Kader Kohu or Eli Apple trying to follow him.
And on the other side, Tyreek Hill is the big man, the weapon for the Dolphins. Speed, we watched him run. We thought he might have a little ankle situation. He was flying in pregame, Rodney.
Well, look, and I'm looking at the cornerback, Rasul Douglas, and he's been fantastic for the Bills. He's been able to create a lot of turnovers. He's a bigger cornerback, so it's going to be imperative that he gets up there in the face of Tyreek Hill, jam those guys, and slow them down.
Talk about what we noticed tonight. How about this atmosphere, huh?
The atmosphere is unbelievable. Half the fans, this feels like I'm in Buffalo. Half the fans are Buffalo Bills fans. It's incredible.
And talking to both coaching staffs for the Miami Dolphins, they talked about running the football, making sure Buffalo honors the run, and Buffalo talked about collapsing the pocket and not letting Tua on his first read.
We'll see if those safeties can stay back for the Buffalo Bills defense, or if they're going to have to start creeping in, and then look out for those big shots down the field.
So, of course, the winner tonight will host a playoff game. The climates couldn't be more different between these two cities as we feel. But both teams are 7-1 on their home field, so it's a big deal as we send it back in to Ahmed Fareed.
Thank you, Jack. So those are the stakes in our game here tonight. The Lions could still get the 2 seed. They needed things to fall their way, so they played their starters, did Dan Campbell in this one against the Minnesota Vikings. Jared Goff finding Sam Laporta, and here's the danger in that. Laporta tackled here and left the game with a knee injury.
Oh, well, that's what had you nervous, Ahmed Fareed, right here. Your Detroit Lions, they're going for it, hopeful to get the number 2 seed, but you play some of your players, they get banged up, and Laporta, one of the greatest rookie tight end seasons we've ever seen.
Dan Campbell says it was bad, could have been worse, but his status going forward still a bit uncertain. Fourth quarter, Amon-Ra St. Brown still in the game, 70 yards for the touchdown.
The Lions defense gives up a lot of big plays, but man, does that Lions offense make a lot of big plays. They're going to be fun to watch next weekend. I love the Lions offensive attack.
Tied the franchise record for wins in a season with 12. Eagles, Giants. Eagles needed to win to keep their division hopes alive. Started the game, though, with some key injuries here. Sidney Brown left the game with a knee injury. A.J. Brown, knee injury. And Jalen Hurts hurt his finger on his throwing hand.
But if we're being honest, those injuries really didn't affect this game at all. This Philadelphia team continues to struggle. They don't look like the team we watched earlier. And the Giants said, you know what? We're going to end our season the right way tonight.
19-yard touchdown from Tyrod Taylor to Darius Slayton. 1:34 left in the second quarter. Hurts trying to push the ball downfield, not able to do it.
Xavier McKinney, right before free agency, he said, let's go out on a bang. That was one of his 2 interceptions for the day. Heck of a play. Philly's sitting there wondering, what do we do now?
They lost 5 of their last 6 regular season games. So the Cowboys just had to win to get that number 2 seed. They took care of business just before halftime against Washington. Dallas up 4. Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb.
What a combination. What a year for these 2 guys. The best quarterback-receiver combination in the NFL showed up big time today in Washington.
9th straight game with a touchdown for CeeDee Lamb. Third quarter, more CeeDee. Dak has all day, finds his favorite target again.
Amazing job keeping his eyes up the field. CeeDee shaking loose late. Dak delivering a strike. What a combo. Cowboys ready for the playoffs.
CeeDee set to become the first Cowboy to lead the league in catches. Cowboys cruise to the win, lock up the NFC East title. And so we mentioned it before, 19 straight seasons without a repeat champion in this division. You see what the odds were just in week 13. Philly had a 93% chance. That went down to 0 after this week. So, Chris, what has happened to this Eagles defense?
Well, there's issues everywhere, right? They're not rushing the passer that well. They're not stopping the run. And their pass defense, people are shredding them apart. Last week it was the run defense. The Cardinals were killing them, right? This week it was the pass game. Wan'Dale Robinson over the middle. Again, next week, there's going to be Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. That's going to be scary for this Philadelphia Eagles football team. Miscommunication and coverage. Not being able to cover people down the field. Saquon Barkley. It'll be Rachaad White for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off to deal with next week. Then we used to never see this from the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 people here to make a tackle. We're just throwing shoulders. We're grabbing. This is not where we're used to with the best team in football through the first 11 weeks of the season. And we know Baker Mayfield, the Bucs, they can protect the passer. They're a big play pass offense. They're going to be able to make some of these plays and stress this Philadelphia Eagles defense out. Very concerning the way they're playing on both sides of the ball right now, Ahmed. But defense is really struggling.
Yeah, we showed you Washington, too, tied the franchise record for losses in a season. A lot of change potentially for that franchise, Mike.
Well, that's right. New owner means change. And Ron Rivera lived through this in Carolina a few years ago. And now it's widely expected that Ron Rivera will be among the first changes made that the season has ended in Washington. Where do they go from here? Keep an eye on Bill Belichick. Josh Harris, the new owner of the team, I'm told, is enamored with the idea of Belichick becoming the coach. The question is, will Belichick want to be fully in charge of the football operation like he has been in New England? And if he wants that, will Harris give it to him in order to get Belichick to Washington?
How interesting would that be? All right, Rams at 49ers. Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy sitting out, Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold getting the start today. First quarter, Wentz looking for who else? Puka Nacua.
What a story. 5th-round pick, breaking all the rookie records in National Football League history, and it continued today.
Fourth quarter, Rams down 7. Carson Wentz takes it himself up the middle for a 12-yard score.
How about the Wentz wagon, reviving the career of the quarterback draw, making plays at crunch time.
Needed the 2-point attempt. Wentz looking for 2-2. Atwell's got him.
He can run it. He can throw it. Atwell had a big day today.
So with that win, the Rams clinched the 6th seed in the NFC, going to play the Detroit Lions in the Super Wild Card weekend. And here's Puka Nacua, set the rookie record for receptions, ended with 105. Also set the rookie record for receiving yards, 1,486.
Okay, Puka.
What a year.
Pretty good, huh?
He was not a first round. He was not a second rounder, right?
Sometimes we misevaluate.
Moving on to the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals. Seattle entered the day needing a win and a Green Bay loss. Geno to Tyler Lockett for the score.
I don't know if Seattle checked those out-of-town scores, but they didn't play like it. They finished all the way to the end, competed a back-and-forth game with Arizona, and figures out how to get a win, but their season still ends.
They got the win, but they are eliminated because of this result. Bears at the Packers. Jordan Love, they knew what they needed to do, just get a win. Knock off a division rival at home in Week 18. Jordan Love to Wicks for the 10-yard touchdown.
Well, this was shocking. Jordan Love played awesome. The Bears defense, other than the Browns, is probably the hottest defense in football over the last 6 weeks. Green Bay, Jordan Love, they moved the ball up and down the field. The score is misleading. Dontavius Wicks, again, touchdown. Nice throw in the slam route by Jordan Love.
So fourth quarter we go. Packers up 5. Love looking for another rookie. This is Jaden Reed.
Hey, it's Rodgers. It's Favre-ish looking. I don't know what it is with defenses in this fast motion right now, but they can't cover it. And you talk about another big-time rookie receiver. This Jaden Reed, what a great year by him in the Packers, right?
They're all young pass catchers in the fourth. Love looking for a third rookie, Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft, tight end, rookie. Way to go, Jordan Love. Buying a little time there, keeping the eyes downfield, gets the completion.
Jordan Love on the turnaround for this Green Bay Packers team.
2-5 start, but the main thing that we did was stick together. Everybody came into the building, finding ways to try and get better, improve themselves, and make the team better. So it's obviously been a process for us. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but we stuck together and we're able to get on a win streak. And like I said, put ourselves in this position. So, credit to everybody in the locker room.
So they're in. They can celebrate that, take a sigh of relief, and then start planning for the Dallas Cowboys, who got in as the 2 seed here. So do they have a chance in Dallas?
Well, Dallas is better than Green Bay. They're a better team. Right. They're so good at home. I mean, undefeated this year, 15 in a row. They're fantastic playing in their own stadium. But Green Bay's got to feel good about how their defense has played.
Right.
And they certainly have to feel good about how Jordan Love's played. Go down there and cut it loose and see what happens.
In the playoffs, you never want to say a team has no chance, but Dallas will be a heavy favorite. They're at home. They've been undefeated at home. They played their best ball at home. I expect to see Dallas come out and execute and get a win.
Green Bay can run the ball. That could be good against Dallas. I'm interested in that other matchup, though. The Rams, Stafford, right? Your Lions defense, not very good on that side of the ball. The way they're running the ball, throwing the ball, I think we could see a shootout in that one. All right? So I'm just making sure everybody knows he's a Lions fan out there.
I don't coach them. I have no affiliation outside of being a fan. That is the NFC, but back to tonight's game. We got Bills and Dolphins. Let's get Barry's Bet, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew.
Hey, thanks, Ahmed. So quickly, a quick reminder of my 3-play from earlier tonight, all about Josh Allen. I think he runs in 1. I think he throws for 2. And an alt line on the passing, 225. I think he goes over that. But now for my Berries bet, which is 12-6 on the year. Let's see if we can stay hot. And it's all about Devon Achane in the receiving game. No Jalen Waddle tonight. In games in which Waddle has missed this year, they use Waddle in the passing game. He's been over this number in every game that Waddle has missed. No Mostert as well. So give me Achane over on his receiving yards. A reminder, don't forget, the DraftKings Sportsbook this season, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every single day. Just download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up. It's DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. When we come back to Football Night in America, it's the best of Week 18.
Super Wild Card Weekend presented by Verizon kicks off on Saturday. 6 games. We have half of them between NBC and Peacock. Both games on Saturday. And then the Sunday night game as well. Stay tuned for the full schedule. That's coming out a little bit later tonight. A reminder, the Saturday night game streaming exclusively on Peacock. You cannot watch that on NBC. Peacock only. You can scan the QR code right now to sign up. The number 2 seed in the AFC on the line. The AFC East on the line in our game, Bills and Dolphins just moments from now. But first, best of Week 18, starting in the NFC where the Bucs wrapped up the South.
Antoine Winfield Jr. continuing to play good ball. This Tampa team, they're going to have to play against a Philadelphia Eagles team that's struggling. So you got to feel good. This defense led by Winfield Jr., they should go and try to get a big win and move forward in the playoffs.
Wasn't always pretty for Tampa Bay down the stretch, but they got the win. They got the home game in the first round of the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys got the home game. They wrap up the division as well.
Oh, that's right. Dak Prescott had an MVP-like type of year. They got to feel good at how they're going into the playoffs. Winning a game like this today against the Commanders. Offense was hitting on all cylinders. Defense was flying around, causing havoc and turnovers. Watch out for Dallas.
Jordan Love looked good in a must-win game.
Has there been another quarterback in the NFL who's played as well down the stretch than Jordan Love, who was a must game? He came up big for the Packers.
Clinch the final berth in the NFC. So here's the bracket. You've seen this a couple times already. We got some revenge games. Matt Stafford goes back to Detroit. Mike McCarthy taking on the Packers in the first round in the NFC. Over to the AFC. A possible goodbye to Bill Belichick in Foxborough.
Not the way they wanted the season to go, but Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time. He's done nothing but win, win, win throughout his career. A tough sight to see them walking off after this season. But we'll see what happens next with Coach Belichick and the New England Patriots.
Last night, the Steelers didn't know what was going to happen today. They just knew they had to win last night.
How about Mason Rudolph coming in down the stretch and winning games for the Steelers? He found Deontay Johnson for a big one. Steelers are in the playoffs.
Steelers, it's just, they know how to do it.
They know how to do it. That's right. And what about the Colts, right? Shane Steichen calls the controversial timeout. Hey, let's not forget, everybody, he called the right play. The guy's wide open. The quarterback's got to hit the pass. Houston goes to the playoffs. Way to go, C.J. Stroud. He is the rookie of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Rookie quarterback, maybe coach of the year for DeMeco Ryans, too. The celebration ensuing in the Houston locker room. And Jacksonville not going to the playoffs.
Just a meltdown, a little too hot in Jacksonville. They couldn't stand the heat. This team, total collapse at the end of the season. This will be a tough offseason just to think about what went wrong and why we couldn't turn this around and get just one more win down those last 6 games to get in the playoffs.
So here's how the bracket will look if the Bills win our Sunday night game here tonight. It would be Buffalo taking on the Steelers. Buffalo as the 2 seed. The Dolphins would be on the road in Kansas City. So if the Dolphins win, basically flipped here, the Dolphins get that 2 seed. They get to host the Buffalo Bills in a rematch of the game we're about to have, and it would be the Steelers in Kansas City as the 6-3. So if you're watching this game as a Chief right now, what are you rooting for?
I want the Dolphins to win. I'd rather play the Steelers. The Chiefs have struggled on offense. I'd be worried about Tyreek Hill, one reverse, one slant. All of a sudden, we're behind, and we can't catch up with the points.
Here's one note, too. It's going to be in the 10s next weekend in Kansas City. So if you're Buffalo, if you're Miami, you probably want to avoid 10s, although maybe Buffalo.
They'll be okay with that.
10.
Right,
I like the 10.
In Miami, that does not sound very good. Time for home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. 57% of America is on the Bills. So, Chris, your pick.
I'm on the Bills as well. I think they know, Sean McDermott knows how to defend this Miami Dolphins offense. And I think this run game, the toughness, the grit, the Bills have been playing in the playoffs for the last 6 weeks. I think they're going to win this one tonight.
To keep our tradition, I will go opposite you. I'll take the Dolphins because they just found out it's going to be in the 10s in Kansas City.
I'm going to go with Buffalo as well. Last week, I didn't pick Jordan Love, the better quarterback. This week, I'm picking Josh Allen over Tua. I'm going Buffalo.
Yes, same. Miami's banged up. Josh Allen plays great against these guys.
Right.
And I just take Buffalo going down there and getting this win.
Matthew.
Yeah, I have to agree with Coach and Chris Sims here. I don't think they're going to be able to get pressure on Josh Allen. I think he picks them apart. I think it's close and lower scoring than people think, but give me the Buffalo Bills, Mike Florio.
Unleash Josh Allen as a passer and as a runner, throw caution to the wind and get that 2 seed. I like the Bills. Jack Collinsworth.
Yeah, fellas, I think Joe Brady has redesigned the Bills offense for a playoff run since taking over as the play caller. I'm going Buffalo, Rod.
I'm looking at the Dolphins defense. I think they're going to play a lot better than what they played last week. Jalen Ramsey walked up to me and told me he's going to set the tone, so I expect big things. But I got to go with the Buffalo Bills, Coach.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Dolphins. They talked about their offensive line being healthy. I think they run the football and use their speed tonight.
Hard to believe. Season finale. We are set for the season finale, Ahmed. Over to you.
Good to be with Tony. I'm happy that I'm with Tony.
That's a good feeling for you.
You're with us, though. You should be happy about that.
Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. The 272nd and final game of the regular season. Winner gets the AFC East and a home playoff game. The number 2 seed on the line in South Florida.
Dolphins. Where else would you rather be?
Everybody's watching.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.